Welcome to Trading Up Special Edition, where we give you an inside look at job opportunities and the possibility to trade up your lifestyle. Probably one of the toughest decisions we make is what career path to follow, whether fresh out of high school or already in a career that isn't quite what you expected, or perhaps facing a job loss. What are your options? You could just immediately enter the workforce. Many today are hiring with no experience necessary. Maybe a 4 or more year college degree is your path to a chosen profession. Or yet, another option is to get trained by and learn from the best in the agriculture industry, a place where you can unlock your future. You won't just settle for an average run-of-the-mill job, but you'll learn on-site from the best in the industry, and you will get well paid, all while building a career in a company known for their employee satisfaction, community involvement, and where opportunities are endless. On this episode of Trading Up Special Edition, we are headed to the Andersons Complex in Maumee, Ohio, which houses operations for a number of the Andersons businesses. Today we are headed to the grain facility, where we will meet several employees currently employed at the Andersons in grain operations. But first, let's learn a little bit about the history of the Andersons and what they do here at the Maumee facility.
My name is Rick Donald. I am the Senior Operations Manager for the Ohio Profit Center. I've been with the Andersons for 34 years. I am the second of 3 generations that work for the company. My father worked 40 some years and retired here, and I have a son who is currently working here and has been here for 4 years. I started here basically as a seasonal operations worker and have now worked my way up to Senior Operations Manager, managing the 5 Ohio Profit Center facilities. So the Andersons is a agricultural-based company in the Toledo area. We handle corn, soybeans, wheat, and oats here in the Ohio Profit Center. We have 40 million bushels storage capacity for grain commodities. We are into energy, carbon footprint, ethanol. We do rail business. And we also are into organics and pulses now. The commodities that we bring in are sent to end users by truck, rail, or vessel on the Port of Toledo. A typical day for me now is making sure that my managers of all my facilities have what they need to manage their facilities efficiently, effectively, and get things done. The Andersons is a family-oriented company. We believe that every member of our team is family. We do not have all our employees working in the same jobs daily. Employees get the opportunity to do many things during the year based on our seasonal needs.
My name is Douglas Musebaum, and I'm a crew leader at the Andersons. I've been with the Andersons approximately 25 and a half years. Typical day is you come in and they pass out orders, and some days I could be loading a train, some days I'm dumping trucks or cleaning. It's what's nice about this, you're doing different jobs every other day. I mean, you're not doing the same thing.
Each day here at the Andersons is different. We are not a production environment. We are a grain facility who handles commodities. So every day can be different. That's what makes working here enjoyable, that you're not doing the same thing every day. I've been around for 34 years, so I've seen change in the company. And if you're not willing to change, then you're not living or working as needed. So today we'll interview some young and career employees that are working in our grain inspection areas. They also are able to dry grain here, transfer grain, and they work as a part of a team to load unit trains and vessels.
My name is Lindsay, and I work at the Andersons Maumee plant. I'm an operations worker. I've been here for a little bit over a year, and then I also worked down in the fertilizer for a year and a half. I started down at the fertilizer plant. I started on the line, so we would do like assembly line work, just filling bags, sealing them, putting them on pallets. And then they moved me to forklift driving, so I became a forklift driver and did that for a little bit over a year. That wasn't really a good fit for me down there, like with my family life. So one of the guys that does like the hiring processes down there reached out to me, and I came down here.
I'm Danny. I'm a worker too here at the Andersons Grain. I have been here almost 2 years full time. I started as a seasonal, just on basic cleanup, just coming in. Just wanted to get into the agriculture field and industry. And over the course of time, I've worked my way into like inspection, doing the outbound trucks and just different things around the plant. A typical day could be anything. I mean, we could be loading a train, you could be doing outbound truck, you could just be on basic cleanup, keeping things safe and priority around the plant. Training is everything. I mean, we got confined space training for, bin entry.
Fire extinguisher training, fall protection training.
Driving a locomotive, we get trained on that. We're training on driving bobcats, payloaders.
Different procedures for, really everything from tank entries to heavy equipment training. Overall, being as safe as you can to make sure that you and everybody else goes home at the end of the day.
Employees are cross-trained here for all jobs. We do not put an employee out on their own. When they start here, we make sure they are mentored and work as a team.
Let's say a new guy comes in and we have to train him on dumping trucks. So I will go in and they'll shadow you for a few days or a week. It depends on how long it takes them to get the job done. And then after so long, you're going to shadow that guy to see if he's doing it correctly. If they do it well enough, then you can walk away and they've got that job down. And you do that to all the jobs.
I'd never worked in agriculture, so I had never cleaned a grain bin. I never pushed a flat bottom tank or anything like that. It's a challenge at first, but then you feel accomplished when you learn it, and then, over the course of time, you can go out and just be able to do it, and everybody's confident that you can do your job.
Coming up on Trading Up Special Edition, the crew will take us on a tour of the grain facility and show us a few of the processes that go on during the typical day at the Andersons. But first, let's test your knowledge with Trading Up Trivia. In our conversations with Rick Donald, how many bushels of grain capacity does the Andersons have at the Ohio Profit Center? Is it A, 20 million, B, 40 million, C, 48 million, or D, 60 million? We'll be back with the answer right after this. Welcome back. Before the break in our conversation with Rick Donald, we asked, how many bushels of grain capacity does the Andersons have at the Ohio Profit Center? If you answered B, 40 million, you are correct. Your path to becoming an employee begins the first day you step through the doors at the Andersons. Not only are you given hands-on expert instruction, but you are also given the tools necessary to start a fulfilling career. Let's follow along as the team shows us a typical day at the grain facility at the Andersons.
Typically a day we'll have a producer commercial business. We bring in corn, soybeans, wheat by truck or rail. Customers come in, they interact with our inspection team.
The truck pulls into inspection, we have them stop. We get the samples out of the trailer.
He sticks the probe in the truck, he takes a sample, and that drops down in the sample box.
We'll drop it. And then we'll get the test weight, moisture, temperature. We get the foreign material, the dust, any red dog that's in there.
Pick out the damage on the grain.
I'm doing the vomitoxin testing for harvest right now.
VOM is a mycotoxin that only affects wheat and corn, and it can be really damaging to the crops. You have a guy who takes a certain amount of the corn and puts it in the machine. We grind it down into like a fine powdery substance, I guess you would say. We take a little cup of water and then you pour the powder into the water, shake it up, and I have to take a test strip that tests for the amount of VOM that's in it. So there's a machine, you take the test strip, cut off a little piece of the top of it, put it in there, put it in the drawer, shut it, and then you press read test and it just reads the results for you.
input that into the computer and then select the bin that it's going to go to. If it's either wet, it'll go to a dryer bin, which will then go to the dryer, or if it's a dry bin, everything's kind of separated, you know, with moisture and different things like that.
All commodities have USDA standards. When they come into a facility, they are graded on the initial contact with the customer. We are required to load these USDA standards out in all sales. We inventory grain based on those qualities. We may have to dry bushels, we may have to aerate bushels, but all those bushels are stored according to qualities in the facilities.
We have retained your sample. You're going to go out back 12 and 13. Thank you.
Those grades determine what bin we put it in the facility. So based on the quality, the inspectors will mark a bin, and then once it goes out to the dumps, the truck dump operator will put it in that bin to segregate inventories.
And then as they pull onto the dump operator will find out what bin there's going to. They'll dump the truck.
And he will inventory the grain according to quality.
When we do a train, we're loading it. There's a guy who sits up there and he loads the train. Then you have a driver, you have a switchman. I'm usually only a driver.
So when we're loading a unit train at the Andersons, we use 2 locomotives here at this facility, and we have an operator that operates both locomotives and brings up 6 to 7 cars at a time. And we typically put 300,000 plus bushels on a unit train. They know the cubic feet per car. They put them in the bulk weigh system, and then the bulk weigh scale will weigh up the exact amount to fill this car to capacity. And you're gonna see once it gets that full, he's gonna move the car. So the process just repeats itself till the car's completely full. Typically it takes 6 to 8 minutes to load a car, 3,900 bushels per car, typically. Everything that is sold, or the majority of commodities that are sold through the Andersons are all certified by a third-party grader, which is regulated by the USDA or FIGIS, Federal Grain Inspection Service.
If you go on top of the train, you have to have on your harness.
There's numerous critical policies: fall protection, lockout, tag out, confined space entry, lifting and rigging, and we do that training annually with all employees. We at the Andersons are also required to seal the product, whether it's in a rail car or in a vessel, with a seal to make sure that when it arrives at the end user, those seals are still intact and the cargo has not been tampered with.
Grain elevators were invented in 1842 in Buffalo, New York, to accommodate the large quantities of grain being transported through the Erie Canal. They became known as Sentinels of the Prairie, Prairie Cathedrals, and Prairie Skyscrapers as they dotted the Great Plains landscape in the latter half of the 1800s during the Industrial Revolution. The Andersons' employees play an important role in keeping everyday operations running smoothly and efficiently. They also utilize avenues of communication to keep their work environments safe.
So the Andersons believes in safety. All our employees are required to go through safety training, procedures, policies. I believe that safety is not only the safety manager's issue, safety is everybody's responsibility.
Yeah, we look out for each other, definitely for being safe. If we see something that someone's doing and it's not the safest way, we stop them. Hey, let's do it this way. It's going to be a little safer. It might take us a little bit longer, but we'll be safe and then You'll have all your body parts and get to go home at the end of the day.
The safety training day, that was really nice because they just went through a bunch of different things surrounding safety aspects here and different things that we need to be trained on in order to do our jobs correctly and safely. That was fun.
I, as a manager, want all my employees to go home every day the way they came in, and I want all employees to stop work if they do not feel something is safe. They have the right to stop work, come see a manager, come see a supervisor, come see my manager if they don't believe that we're working safely, and make sure that we can find a way to do the job safely.
So here at the Andersons, when we're working and we see someone sees something that's not safe, any employee can stop us at that time and say, hey, let's look at it, make sure we're doing it the correct way. It may take us 10 minutes longer to do it or a half hour longer, but it's safe, so we're going to do it the safe way.
The employees are required to wear personal protection equipment when they're out in the plant. That consists of a hard hat, safety glasses, steel-toed shoes, high-vis clothing, and the proper glove.
This time of year, with it getting cold out, we've got our jackets, our hoodies, things like that.
We supply that for all the employees. We buy the employees steel-toe boots or shoes, and we also supply any safety equipment needed to do the job safely here at the Andersons.
They supply the tools for us. They give us sweatshirts, and hats, gloves. They give us an allowance for our work boots once a year. So no, there's really not much out of pocket that we have to do.
No, I don't have to bring any of my own. The company provides jackets, hoodies, gloves, hats, things like that. We just got new hats and gloves for this winter to help keep us warm and safe.
Here at the Andersons, they also give us work clothes, and it's all provided by them.
We do not require the employee to own any tools. That's all owned by the Andersons itself. So the Andersons has different salary ranges. We offer hourly positions along with salary positions. We believe in promoting from within. A lot of our current managers in the Ohio Profit Center started off as operations employees and have worked their way up to management positions. Typically, a salary position is anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 per year, and our hourly rate is anywhere from $18 to $30.
A typical shift for us is just 8 hours, 7 to 3.
Monday through Friday.
But there's times where with unit trains and stuff like that, you could be here 10 plus hours. It just depends.
Depending on what we're doing that day, if we're loading a train, you could be here until the train's done. If we're busy on trucks, we're here until the trucks are done because we want to, take care of the customer and make sure that they're going to keep coming back.
During harvest, we work on the weekends, and it's usually 6 to 8 hour shifts on the weekends too.
Or we could have that typical 40-hour work week.
It's a seasonal business, and we do load trains and vessels. This does require our employees to work weekends to complete these loadings as they arrive. The Andersons typically does not work on holidays. I'm not going to say that we never work holidays because, like I just mentioned, if a vessel were to arrive or a train to arrive on holidays, there are times that we may have to work.
If asked, yes, I'll work on a holiday, but I do not think that I've had to work on a holiday yet.
No, I have not had to work on a holiday here, no.
We try to limit that or eliminate loading on those days, but if an employee does have to work on those days, they are paid for the hours they work that day plus double time.
I love what I'm doing right now. We're always going to need agriculture. I'd like to keep learning things in the plant, things about the company, and eventually work my way up into either like a foreman spot or something like that, and just learn more about what feeds us every day.
I would like to stay with this company for a while. It would just be nice to move up eventually into a different type of position. I like to be out in the field. That's what I like to do. I like to be out in the field. I'm not like an inside person. I've never been that way. So learning more things, becoming a little more knowledgeable on different, roles out there in the plant, and just see where it goes from there.
Retiring. I'm pretty high up when I'm doing now in the crew leader position. I've only got a couple more years and I'd like to retire.
So, what do you think? Does joining the Andersons team sound like a winning move to you? If you're 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, mechanically inclined, and are ready to work, you already have the basic requirements met. Make the move now and apply to the Andersons, where you'll be trained into a great career with competitive pay, great benefits, and more. For more information, head to www.andersonsinc.com.
The Andersons does not only offer you a job, they offer you the opportunity to grow your career. The Andersons allows you to manage your daily duties as you see fit.
You're not just doing the same job every day. One day you're loading a train, one day you're loading trucks. Some days you get to go work with the maintenance crew. You're not doing the same thing over and over again.
They're very flexible with like family and stuff like that.
I love coming in here every day, working with my hands, staying active, helps keep you, in shape.
It's a fun place here at the Andersons. We have
Really nice bosses.
It's definitely probably one of the better jobs that I've had.
The Andersons is a family-based company.
It's definitely a family environment.
It's like a family here, and everybody, it's your work family. You rely on them to help you, and you help them.
I love the teamwork that we have. We all work together to make sure that we're all safe and going home and getting things done efficiently, and also just learning, and everybody teaches everybody something.
I, for one, believe that the Andersons has been around for 75 years, a great company to work for, and you can build a career here. There's opportunities that exist every day with this company. It's what do you want to work for and who do you want to work for in the future?